Pathway to Politics, South Carolina Women Run is a one-day event coming up Saturday to encourage women in South Carolina to run for politics. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with the event organizer, Angela Marie.
Well, Angela, it is so good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. Well, let me refresh your memory because you sent this to Facebook to me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
You said the following quote, "Hi, Quintin, long-time viewer that love what you do. I'm planning a women's campaign training event and was wondering if you'd be open to chatting about it for one of your upcoming interviews. So let's chat about it.
Absolutely.
Pathway to Politics, South Carolina Women's Run.
Mm-hmm.
Why this event? Why now?
So I actually attended a similar event like this a couple years ago, and there's always been this movement on the political sphere to empower women in government. You know, throughout the United States, women are underrepresented in the governmental sphere. So it's something that has been, brewing for a while. But I think that why now, that part of the question, it's so important now because I think we're starting to see what type and what quantity of issues that affect women and children, the sheer quantity of those issues on which women aren't being invited to the table, women aren't being really heard. And I think women are finally realizing that the ultimate way to be heard is to be in that position of power, to be that ultimate vote.
You talk about those issues. What are those issues in your mind?
There are a lot of them, and there are some that are very overly politicized, and then there are some that maybe don't get as much share of the headlines.
Okay.
Here in South Carolina, we've got some issues with the Department of Social Services that really impacts families and children.
Sure.
Nationwide, equal pay for equal work, that's a huge issue. And it's hard to have progress on these sorts of issues when the ultimate stakeholders aren't at the table.
Let me go to the actual event calendar,
Yeah.
which I saw on the centerforwomens.com.org's website earlier, and it says this: Pathway to Politics, South Carolina Women Run. It's a semi-annual conference offered through Pathway to Politics, Center for Women's Campaign Training Program. This nonpartisan program is designed to educate, inspire, and mobilize women to run for office and engage in political advocacy to South Carolina. So how are you guys educating and really, inspiring and mobilizing people these days?
So, great question. So the Center for Women has a overarching program called Pathway to Politics. And Pathway to Politics is comprised of many, many events. So South Carolina Women Run was an idea that I had, and I went to the Center for Women and I said, I'd love to plan this with you, because they have such a great standing in the community and people know what their mission is, and so they were such a great partner. And right at that time, they were in the process of really launching Pathways to Politics.
Right.
And they've already had a couple of events for that program series. Really, those three items are what we're after: educating women. The method that we're going to use for our event is really through panel discussion, first-person experience.
Right.
We're inviting some really impressive women to come and speak at this event on Saturday, and they're going to share their experience, because you can read it in a book or you can hear it from a friend, and we think that hearing it from someone in your state, in your community, who has done it, who has taken that leap, who has run for office,
Right.
that's not only going to educate you with the nuts and bolts and how she did it, but also it's going to inspire you, because you'll be able to see firsthand that it can be done. And then that mobilization piece, that's something that we're kind of thinking about every day. The event is obviously a kind of mobilization. We want people to get away from Facebook and away from their computers and liking things and sharing things. We want them to come and have a conversation and be part of a conversation. The event is really designed for people that are of all different comfort levels. We'll have panels that are focused on women that are truly ready to run for political office tomorrow, but we'll also have panels for women who are just looking to be an advocate for a particular issue. So regardless of what your comfort level might be, I think women will find that they have a place at this event, even if they're just dipping their toe in the water.
Wow. After Saturday, what would you want that conversation to be like with a friend?
So it's funny that you asked. After Saturday, we're really hoping that a lot of our attendees will be happy with the event, and that they will kind of come and reach out to us directly and say, that was great, but no, really, I'm ready to go. And what that will probably look like is really behind the scenes, organizing one-on-one mentoring, helping these women find resources, maybe at the national or even regional level. One of the reasons that we did this, that we planned this event, is because a lot of the national players don't look at South Carolina and think that South Carolina can support this type of program. So we really had to grow it from scratch here in Charleston. So.
Wow. Well, let me take you to, obviously, people that are actually very notable in this particular community, because obviously we have a lot of women running, major players in the South Carolina government.
Yeah.
My question is this, really. Who do you look up to as far as women in South Carolina government?
That's such a good question. I look up to, across the political spectrum, I look up to women that take risks. When Nikki Haley ran for governor, everyone really thought she was an also-ran. They thought that it was very far-fetched. And she was a 2-term governor. I think that that's very impressive. One of our speakers on Saturday is Senator Katrina Shealy from Columbia. She ran for office and didn't succeed the first time. And it takes a lot to pick yourself up and go back out there and run again. And she did. I think that that's really, really impressive. Some of the other women that we have speaking, Mary Tinkler, she's really just such a winner. She's run these really hard, tough, competitive races where I think a lot of people kind of say, well, good luck, and they kind of worry for you. And she wins. And that is really what we've seen, when we study this from an academic perspective, when women run, they win. So all we have to do is kind of get them to run.
Wow. Well, Angela Marie, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.